Good evening. This side Rahul Magan here as a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting, and also a venture capitalist. As we speak, Treasury Consulting is a multinational headquartered group based out Singapore. We are a multinational hedge fund who do take positions in US equities, US indices, European equities, European indices, Asian equities, currencies, and commodities. But like I said many times, we are a prop desk. Now, prop desk means we do not invite third party capital to invest in our fund. So you may be a venture capitalist, you may be a private equity, you may be anyone, but you cannot invest a single dollar in our fund. We are 100% closed end fund as we speak. So we know what is happening in Asia. Sri Lanka is facing a lot of mess. I'm not talking about the political mess, I'm talking about the debt problem. Let me first clarify, I'm not talking about the political issue. So please don't make this as a political commentary point. I'm completely and thoroughly talking about the economic issues. We know what is happening in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is facing a debt crisis. About a month ago, Sri Lanka defaulted on approximately 52 billion worth of external debt. And majority funding is done by external agencies and China. Sri Lanka was under impression that China would come and rescue Sri Lanka, but Sri Lanka forgot that it was a complete and pre-planned strategy, and China never came to rescue Sri Lanka. Now, if you open the Google and see what is happening in Sri Lanka nowadays, violence, you know, communal threats, riots, and now they have a new prime minister. It won't be easy at all for the new prime minister to handle the show. Anyways, Pakistan's situation is also not very well. Please don't include the politics here of Imran Khan and XYZ. The reserves, the foreign exchange reserves of Pakistan is historic low. Historic low. And the debt, basically the sovereign debt on Pakistan is also very high. Rather rising, let it be honest. In this eventuality, you know what I mean. Nepal's situation is also worst. Today I was watching the trade deficit number of Nepal and I was like, what the hell? A small country is having billions as a trade deficit. Billions as a trade deficit. Thailand situation, Philippines situation, Malaysian situation is not very good. Not very good from a financial standpoint. So what I wanted to convey, which I warned people few months ago, and now this turned out to be a reality, which is eventually and slowly, one by one, the Asian economies are collapsing. And why are they collapsing? Because of the rising debt. And India and Singapore is also not an exception. I got some data from a website called Statistica, and I am currently doing the due diligence on that data. According to that website Statistica, by 2022, India sovereign debt would be near about 3 trillion US dollar, rather a bit higher than 3 trillion US dollars. Let it be, specific. India GDP is near about 3 trillion US dollars, which precisely means that India is almost closer to debt to GDP ratio of 100%. You heard me right, debt to GDP ratio of 100%. While in case of Singapore, the situation is little more complicated, which is the debt to GDP ratio according to multiple research reports. And I don't know which number is correct, to be honest, because few reports states that the debt to GDP ratio is near about 135%, while few report claims that it is more than 150%. In either case, even I take the base case, it is 135%. Singaporean economy is slowing down considerably. Whether it is a GDP, whether it is a job losses, whether this is corona cases, whether this is foreign investment, whether this is your status as a banking hub and all. India's situation is also not pretty solid in this regard, let it be honest. To conclude that, in the upcoming time, we will see many Asian economies would be facing the heat because of the rising debt. But unfortunately, we are not at all prepared to handle this mess. Rather, I haven't seen a single media channel who dare to speak on this topic. But anyways, in life there is one reality, which is you can push the topic till a certain level. But after that certain level, this reality will come on the table. And the Asian nations will have to face the reality of the rising debt. This is Rahul Magan from Treasury Consulting Group.